to everybody that does get drafted tonight. We had a bunch of people who got drafted. They were hanging out in the chat during the draft. So congrats to y'all. Hope you get picked. And guess what, India? Without further ado, the first pick is in. So we're going to jump over to the Bad Apples. They have the first selection, the Bronx Bad Apples. By the way, I've mentioned this multiple times. All the logos for WR Select are super cool. But the Bronx Bad Apples, they have selected Eyeball Splash, known as Splashy, Splash, whatever you New Edition Flash, whatever you want to call him. We all know him. Kamani Ingram off the board, #1 overall. We know this guy, don't we, India?
No, I mean, I'm not quite sure who this gentleman is whatsoever. I don't know. I hope he makes a splash in the league, but
I heard he likes to dance.
He's got the name Eyeball in front of him. I don't know what kind of imposter is getting drafted here. But no, on a serious note, I'm excited. It's cool, you know, that we've got a little bit of mix. Usually, Harris, I don't see pro players hopping on the select league, so it's interesting to see how this will all play out. No doubt that this was a great pick. I mean, I think it was the most common sense type pick, right? For the #1 overall pick there.
Hey, you know what? Splash is on the board. You might as well pick him, right? Let's go to our #2 pick. You may recognize the name. You won't recognize the position. The second overall pick to the Roadrunners is actually going to be Dayfry, but not at center. He is playing sharp lock this year at the 2 or the 3. I think Dayfry's having a little fun here. Wants to have a little fun at a different position in the offseason. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I remember correctly, last preseason he went ahead and played a little bit of 2 guard as well, right? Just to have a little bit of fun, because it's nice to kind of switch things up, and it also helps you kind of get insight from what the other position sees and plays like as well, and helps become a better center. So I like it. Should be fun. Should be great, and I'm sure he won't have any tough times hitting his greens.
Yeah, it should be a fun time for Dayfry. Shout out to the Roadrunners. Up next, the Toronto Triceratops. It's just a phenomenal name. Their 3rd overall pick here. Another very notable guy. We know this guy spent the year with Pistons GT. Is none other than Greenlight, the point guard, who did pretty well during the combine.
Greenlight's another guy that we obviously have seen in the league. And it's interesting to me that we've got him playing point guard, because I was curious if he was going to play the 2 guard or the point guard position. Obviously, he can play both, but I was curious which way he was going to go. By the way, Harris, I'm glad you're going to go ahead and host a draft, because some of these names I would not be able to pronounce, especially the one we just drafted for.
Do you pronunciation dyslexia like some people?
Oh, 100%. Diagnosed ever since.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I used to have to broadcast hockey when I was in college, and yeah, brutal. That's not fun. It's definitely not fun trying to get all those Russian names and all the European names. I was lost. Let's talk about the El Paso Cartel. Another great logo, another great name. They are taking a notable name as well. They are taking Tane at point guard this year, a man who has been in the Pro-Am community for a while, averaged 28 and 7. Good 3-point playmaker. A little Tane coming to the El Paso Cartel.
I'm going to assume this is Icy Tane, and it's great to kind of see him get in the draft here and get a little more acclimated with the comp scene, especially with the pros playing as well. I know he wants to get back in the league. Shout out to him. I believe he teaches special needs students and things like that. So great guy on and off the court.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's a great thing to know. And that's why you're one of the best broadcasters in the industry. You're one of the only broadcasters in the industry, but chalk it up which way you want. That was a good one. Let's go to the Crocs here. The Cleveland Crocs. They're on the clock, and they have taken a point guard, Young Precise. Man that we've called a couple of his games so far this year. Mr. Precise off the board.
Definitely one of the up-and-coming guards. I'm a little surprised that he went he went after Tane did, and I've got another comment that we'll see here shortly, but a great pickup here. Can't go wrong with it. It depends how successful he will be based on who he has at the 2, which I'm sure we'll go ahead and find out later on.
We will definitely find it out later on. Precise going to the Crocs. Let's go to the New Orleans Nightmare. Another familiar name with another unfamiliar position. The former #1 overall pick in the NBA 2K League, Dat Boy Dimes off the board here. Playing as a center, averaging 16 and 13. I love it.
Now, I'm a little upset. Dayfry, I believe you're in the chat. I'm a little upset that Dayfry and Dimes didn't collude, and they just went ahead and said, look, I'll play point guard, you play center, and we'll just reverse situation and create a little Dallas magic. But no, it's fun, man. Let's see how Dimes does at the center position. I believe JBM got drafted as a center, if I remember correctly, on the Xbox side.
Yeah, shouts to Dimes Man. Welcome to the New Orleans Nightmare. Let's go to the Toros. A very cool. I love that logo, man. Shout out to our artist to making all these logos, man. These are really dope. Who's Landis made all these? Oh, look at that. Probably a better designer than he is a 2K player, but that's okay because he only gets paid to do one of them. Let's go to the Toros here. First guy off the board. It is Relly G. Relly G getting drafted here, going to the Toros. Averaged 48 points a game along with 10 assists. That's crazy. Good for him.
Yeah, somebody tell me who was inflating his stats during the end of those fourth quarters. And, you know, yeah, I mean, hey, clearly a great point guard there. What's good is also that he's got 10 assists. So he's not obviously just hogging the ball. He knows how to win with points and also finding the open man. So great pickup there.
Really going to the Toros. Let's go to the Marauders. I love me a good pirate theme, so hit him with a nice Pirates. Big pirate guy. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. They are taking their first member of the crew. I'm gonna drop the pirate thing. Going to Shaker here, Mr. Shake and Bake. He's off the board here. The first lock that we have off the board, going to the Marauders.
Oh, see, now this is one of those picks where they're clearly just drafting based on the name, right? The kid had just no stick skill. And for those of you that don't get my joke and troll, he was trying to be a Mr. Funny guy in the chat. But no, happy for him, man. The dude, you know, maybe he goes for the league. I believe he's given that part of it up, but it's nice to see him still getting involved with the community and playing here at WR Select. Should be fun to watch him at lock.
Congrats to Exo Shaker. The man is in the chat. He seems pretty thrilled about it. Welcome to the pirate crew. There you go. One more pirate pun. Let's go to the Las Vegas Snake Eyes. A dope logo. Got the double snakes, the two dice, the two die. Is it dice or die? I think it's die. I don't know. Pair of dice. Oh, thank you, Coach Shay. Appreciate that. Snake Eyes are on the clock here, and they've made their pick. Another notable name of the Pro-Am scene. It is Mr. Pringle Man. Playable point guard. I've seen him around the block. Good for him. Big time pick.
Yeah, seen him play a few positions, and it feels like he's always in that cusp of like, has great games. Now, if he gets consistent, then you can go ahead and see him kind of be mentioned, especially as a top prospect. But I just feel like he has a long way to go there, but he's getting his way there. So it'd be fun to watch him play for the Snake Eyes and see who he has at point guard to make him look good as well.
He comes off the board here. Let's go to our next pick. The first pick for the Tulsa Talons. They are going to go with a sharp lock here as well. They are going to take somebody who I watched a good amount of in Pro-Am. It is Smooth TMP. He's coming off the board here. 3-point playmaker, averaging about 12, 4, and 3. Nice little lock coming off the board here in the first round.
Yeah, it's not often that you see a lock that's, you know, averaging about 10 to 12 points a game. It'll be interesting to see how he does, especially with the point guard combination that we're going to see with him later on. But it's nice, though. You've got about 12 points from your lock. That's always helpful if you're trying to get the dub.
Let's continue through the draft here. We're almost to the end of the first round already. Up next are the Atlanta Walkers. A little zombie action in the chat. You gotta love the green branding, especially with who their pick is gonna be. This is actually a retention pick from last year. They are going to retain the Green Power Ranger himself, Seldom, off the board here. Though, like I said, he is a retention from last year. But shout out to Seldom.
If it ain't broke, you don't gotta fix it. And when it comes to Seldom, obviously one of the first individuals to go ahead and become Combine eligible for Season 5. So shout out to him. I want to see the Walkers have one of the best content when it comes to WR Select on the PS5 side. You've got a guy like Seldom, you got to be a rock star on and off the court. Look forward to seeing great things from them.
Agree to that as well. Let's move on to the San Juan. How do you say that word? Kokies? Okay, the Kokies. We could have just went with the Froggies, but we had to go with the hard version. They are taking another retention pick. They have selected Yo Range. He's coming back to the Kokies, the San Juan Kokies after this past select season.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You name a team the Froggies and draft me to it, I'm holding out. We gonna have a problem with that.
Does the Kokies do any better for you? Is that get you out of bed?
San Juan, that's who I'm playing for. That's what I'm going with. But hey, a nice little pickup here. It's interesting. You're seeing two guards and locks kind of get picked up a little bit more now after Greenlight, Tane, and Relly went ahead and got off the board early here.
Well, they secure their guard in the first round. Let's go to the heist here to finish off the first round. The Chicago heist. And Lil Gliz, the point guard, is being retained to end the first round. So they'll be keeping him coming off last year. And that'll end our first round. Look at that. Right through it. We didn't get ourselves in trouble. India, go us.
Hey, so far so good. And it's interesting, right? You've got a Day Fry going as a sharp block. You've got Dimes at the center position. Tane, I know he's good, but I didn't expect him to get picked up this early. So that's a nice belief in him. And of course, Splash, no reason for him not to go number one. Fun and exciting round number one. Let's see what compliments they have in round number two.
All right, well, let's go back through round one here before we get into round two. We'll go through the picks as we go. First pick was Mr. Splashy. Number 2, Day Fry. Number 3, Greenlight. Number 4, Mr. Tane. Number 5, Young Precise. Number 7, Datboy Dimes. Number 8, Relly. Number 9, Shaker. Number 11, I'm Pringle Man. Number 12, Smooth TMP. Number 13, Seldom. Number 14, Yo Range. And number 15, it is Little Gliz. Let's go to the second round. The Heists are still on the board, and they are taking a retained player from their team last year in the terms of Ansloth, the power forward. Great name.
I do like the name there. And we're going snake style here.
Oh, yeah. Snake
I
style.
Like it.
Be ready.
It. Now, you've retained 2 players here, right? You went ahead and had Gliz, and now you went ahead and had your second. So you really believe in what you had in Chicago. So it'll be interesting if they can kind of build on that momentum and get themselves a ring, which is pretty cool, by the way. Shout out to WR Select for actually getting rings and having it mailed out and all that good stuff.
Well, Ansloth sticking with the Chicago Heist. Let's go back to the Coquees. They are out of the retention territory, and they are back to the picking some new players territory. And they have drafted Flexin Ty, the point guard. Had a pretty good combine, did good stuff, averaged 25 and 5, 3 steals a game. He is a member of the Coquees.
Ev is in the chat right now saying, hey, none of y'all go ahead and give a face picture. That's what he's complaining about. I know him. But it's nice, though. You went and already got your 2-guard, right, with Yo Range, and now you got Flexin to kind of complement him. A nice little duo there. Should be fun to watch them play for the Froggies, as you would say.
According to Ev, Landis didn't make the logos, but we're going to keep the actual artist a secret because we don't want to give away our guy. Let's go to the Atlanta Walkers. Speaking of the man who we thought was making the logos, he didn't make the logos, but he did make the team. The Atlanta Walkers are selecting Mr. Landis 2K. On the Xbox side, he is playing center. And now on the PS5 side, he is playing lock. So Landis joining the Atlanta Walkers.
Yeah, a nice little pickup here. Now, I will be honest. Whenever I played with Landis last year, I've mainly played with him being center. He's definitely, better than what people give him credit for, especially just because he, designs graphics and whatnot. I'm interested to see how he performs at lock. You can already see he gets the team about 13 points. That's pretty nice. So, no, he's a good center. Interested to see how he does at the lock position. Should be fun to watch.
Well, the man joining the Atlanta Walkers. Let's jump back over to the Talons from Tulsa. They already took Smooth TMP, so they're definitely looking for a lead guy at the top, and they got one. I believe they have selected Dev, the point guard. I don't think that's Dev Goss, but maybe he can, honor him with the great namesake, and maybe he'll actually turn into Dev Goss, a 2-year league pro, but he will be taking over the point guard reins. 26 and 11, did pretty well during the combine.
That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, is this Dev Goss, and why is your name not Dev Goss on here? Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it is. But hey, you got a point guard that can get you a nice double-double. You've got a shooting guard with Smooth. It'll be fun to watch them. Now, the important thing here is going to be you've got the offense, right, in terms of your 1 and 2. Who do you end up picking up as your center or lock or your power forward for the swing? Should be interesting to see what they do.
Well, the Las Vegas Snake Eyes are now on the clock, and they are going down low to pick somebody up. They are taking Guapo, the power forward, averaged 15 and 10 during the combine off the 4 spot. So he joins Mr. Pringle Man with the Snake Eyes.
Snake eyes and D's. Look, I mean, those are the eyes that would just scare me if he wanted to load up. It's interesting. I believe he's the first power forward taken off the board. So they went ahead and grabbed the 2 guard, decided to go the 4 in the second round and not get a point guard. So that tells me they've got themselves a little bit of a gem in at least what they believe in later rounds. So let's see who they pick up.
We'll definitely keep an eye on them. We're back to the Marauders. In the first round, they took Mr. Shaker. So now in the second round, they are grabbing a guard. They have selected Walkback Green. This name is familiar to me. I recognize this guy. He averaged 11 points per game during the combine. So Mr. Walkback Green, Mr. Shaker seems very excited in the chat. That's for sure.
Mr. Shaker pretending like he didn't know who he was picking up. But you've got Walkback Green. Again, they go ahead and go with the lock and a 2 guard, waiting to pick up their point guard. Interesting decision there. And, you know, it'll be fun to see who they go with.
Also, shout out to Guapo in the chat. Congrats to you, my good sir, on getting picked. He just got picked to the Snake Eyes 2 picks ago. Let's go to the Toros. Back on the clock here. They took Relly G in the first round, and now they're going to grab their big man. Simple name, Bag.
Surprised it's not Board, right? I mean, come on. If you're going to be a big man, your name's got to be Board or Rebound or something like that. But look at that. Man's got a double-double, 15 points, 14 rebounds. I mean, that's what you want. You want the guy to go ahead and get you those offensive boards, provide your team with some second chance points, and it'll be fun to see how he plays this year.
Hey, the man hitting them breaks also, 4 assists per game. Gotta love that. Let's go to the Nightmare. They already got Dimes at center with their first pick, and now they've taken their point guard. It's Mr. Ejank 21. Averaged 15 and 6 during the combine. Playmaking shot creator. He'll be running the old offensive pick and roll with that boy Dimes.
Should be definitely a fun combo to watch. And I'll be interested to see what type of tips and tricks Dimes has, right? We talked about how Dimes being at the center position can give someone else to guard a little bit of insight on tips and how to help it play its position and things like that. So let's see what they're able to do. I still can't believe Dimes is playing center, but let's move on.
Hey, you got to have some fun with it, right? Let's go to the Crocs here, the Cleveland Crocs. They already got Precise, and now they're going to take another guy on the wing. Going to take Mr. Big Face to a pass first wing. Pretty good numbers during the combine, like we said, for a couple people. I recognize his name kind of. I think I've seen him in a couple Pro-Am games, but hopefully we'll know more about him at the end of this select season.
Yeah, that avatar definitely has a long face. That's no question about it. No wonder he's got that name. But it'll be interesting to see how you've got your 1 and 2 set. You already know who's going to play the point guard. Now you know who's going to go ahead and play the sharp block. Let's see who they grab at center to help be that defensive anchor for them.
Let's keep moving here. Let's go to the Cartel. They already got Tane in round 1, and now they're grabbing a center. Mr. Joker ADB has gone for the league the past couple years. Good to see him playing a little select, average 13 and 12 during the combine. Him and Tane will hopefully try to get it done against Dimes and young Precise. Get a little center point guard combo in there.
I'm glad you mentioned the center point guard combo because I wonder if these two have kind of played together in the past. I want to say they have, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. Again, I'm a fan of Tane. It'll be interesting to see how he kind of pairs up with Joker here at the center position.
Let's keep going on here. Going to the Triceratops. They already got green light. Now they're taking a shooting guard and a man that India, you and I both know quite well. It is none other than Mr. UPA admin himself, Juice 2K. Good buddy Juice coming off the board here, shooting guard. Averaged 23 and 9 during the combine. He's getting paired up with green light.
Yeah, you've got Greenlight, who obviously is going to be hopefully a star in the league one day, the actual NBA 2K league. And you've got Juice, who wants to be a coach and get involved with the league. So he has a little bit of a different mindset, right? You would assume him to kind of watch game film and understand how to play the game a little bit better than the underrated 2 guards here. So good to see him involved as a player because that gives you a different perspective.
Well, Juice coming in, should be excited to see. Hopefully he can balance playing time and working with us. I know that we're quite the handful. Roadrunners are on the clock now. They're not the Indianapolis Roadrunners, right? They're the other Roadrunners. Or are they the Indianapolis Roadrunners? I forget. I can't keep track of these things. I can't be expected to remember stuff. But they do have a pick here, and they have selected Giants fan Dog. I hope when he's talking about the Giants, he's talking about the San Francisco Giants and not the New York Giants, because if he is, we're going to have some problems.
Yeah, and he's playing the center position. And who's playing the sharp block? It is Dayfry. So I hope you've got thick skin, Giants fan, because you're going to get some great insight from a mentor in Dayfry, 2-time champ, and that'll only help you elevate your game. So it'll be really, really fun to watch him play game 1 versus the last game and see how much better he's gotten with the guidance of Dayfry. So it should be a fun games to watch.
They are the Indianapolis Roadrunners. Apparently, there is talks that they might be moving to Richmond. So shout out to Richmond, Virginia. You might be getting yourself a new WR Select team.
Yeah, you got to get that bill pass for that new stadium, but let's see.
Let's go to the Bad Apples here to end the second round. Wade XL coming off the board here. The lock, he's getting paired up with Splash. This should be a fun, good experience for him.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you liked our joke too much? You like that one?
Just a little bit, but I'm interested. I mean, it blows. Not, I don't want to say it blows my mind, but it's interesting that you're getting a power forward. We've seen it a couple of times get taken here in the first 2 rounds. Usually, I'd expect him to be taken in the 4th or 5th type round, but again, you know, maybe he's a much better defender than what the stats speak. Box score doesn't tell the whole story, right?
No, it most certainly does not. So that's going to end the second round here. Let me go through it before we get to the third. Ansloth started us off as a retained player. Then we went Flex and Tie, Landis, Dev, Guapo, Walkback Green, Bag, Ejank 221, Big Face, Joker ADB, Juice 2K, Giants Fan Dog, and then Wade XL. Let's jump to the third round. Big Apple's still on the clock. They already got their point guard and a lock, so they're going to start digging into the interior. They're going to take Wanya, the power forward.
Yeah, my apologies. Looks like they went in and took a lock in that second round and not a power forward. That's my apologies there. But again, third round for a power forward, not quite sure with that decision, especially because you still need a big man and you still need a 2 guard as well. So I'm sure he's a great player. Third round pick, though, let's see.
That's fair. That's fair. You know, positional value certainly matters, which means that you're definitely not going to like this pick because the Roadrunners don't have a point guard yet. And they're pushing it on to another round. They are taking power forward Professor UNC. Or maybe that's Professor Unk. I'm not sure. You never quite know. His name's not Hami, so I'm not sure if he's the uncle. But yeah, Professor Unk coming off the board here.
Yeah, according to the chat, Hami's already making questionable decisions. Again, that's according to the chat, not us. But hey, if you're going to be called Professor UNC and you're going to play the 4, get drafted in the 3rd round, you better play like Michael Jordan at the power forward position. It'll be interesting to see how he plays. You see he's got 6 points, 5 boards. So box out, rebounds should be the key to him being an impact player on the court.
Well, Professor Unk off the board here. Let's keep things moving. The Triceratops are on the clock here. 3rd pick of the 3rd round. They are taking a center to pair with their nice backcourt of Green Light and Juice. They are taking the guy aptly named I Protect Rims. See, that's the kind of name that you need as a center. That makes a lot more sense.
There you go. And that's exactly, you know what? That's brownie points for the correct name, and look at that face.
Brownie points for the mustache too, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I like it. I like the pick here, especially because they already locked up Green Light and Juice as their 1-2 punch. Now you got to figure out the defensive anchor, and you've got that in I Protect Rims.
I Protect Rims. Gotta say, love the name, love the stash, love the pick. Let's go on to the cartel here. We got a couple GM picks to sort through here, so we'll kind of run through these, Coach Jay, if that's okay with you. The cartel, they are simply drafting their GM Mason at this pick. He's a power forward, so that's the cartel. Going to the Crocs, they are also taking their GM. They are taking Childish Camdino. And for the Nightmare, a little 3-pick run here of GMs, they are taking Coach Nate. Or I guess I should say he's taking himself to play lock this year. So Coach Nate, GM off the board, Childish Gambino, and Mason back-to-back picks. And then finally, we have a real pick here with the Toros. They are taking shooting guard Thadon? I don't know. I'm not sure how you promote it or how you pronounce it, excuse me, but he has a funny little face on the end of his name. So I like it. Nice pick. He's going to be playing shooting guard for them.
Shout out to him for that face at the end. I think that's the biggest thing I was taking a look at here. Now, this is how I would have done it if I was a GM. You get your point guard in the 1st round, get your center in the 2nd, and then look for a great 2 guard or a lock with your 3rd round pick. I'm a fan of this strategy. Wish the Toros the best of luck.
Well, the Toros get it done. You know what they say. If India likes how you've drafted, then you're definitely a great drafter. Let's go to the Marauders. kind of the same thing as before. They're taking the GM. They're taking the real uncle of 2K, Hami, coming off the board here. Any big time takes on Hami, India?
Hami, I thought you were gonna play center. Come on. You know what they say about folks that go from center to power forward. No, but Hami obviously knows the community very well. He's teaming up with Shaker and Walkback Green. It'll be interesting to see who they pick up as their point guard, because they still do not have a point guard, nor do they have a center. So let's see who they end up picking up.
No point guard, no center, but they do have a lock and a shooting guard. Maybe Walkback Green will end up being their point guard. Similar things here for Snake Eyes. They are taking former, current, whatever you want to call it, NBA 2K League Pro Swan. He'll be playing lock for them, as he does for Hawks Talon GT. We got one more GM pick coming up here in a couple picks, but for now, the Talons are selecting a center. Esva Ralzen. How'd I do? Esva.
You started off great. I thought you were about to drop like a Spanish name that just got dropped
I got
on
nothing.
Spotify.
Dude, I got a C in Spanish, so I got nothing for you. I am so not a foreign language guy.
It's all right. I failed French twice. Same class, same questions. But shout out to this team. I mean, look, you've got a man who's got a double-double. And again, glad you went ahead and got the center you wanted, because you cannot rely on a gem at the center spot for your 4th, 5th, and 6th round. So I'm glad they went ahead and picked up the big man here in round 3.
I'm not sure if Landis is trolling, but yes, Landis, you already got picked by actually the team that is on the clock. Look at that. Ain't that something fun? At center, they are taking a man who has been in my chat many a time, a man who I've had plenty of conversations with. It is Little Don Juan, the center, coming back and trying to make a name for himself in Season 8 here in the Select League.
Yeah, it's no surprise that Landis ended up with the Walkers, as he needs one, as old as he is. But it's great to kind of have him be paired up with Lil Don Juan here at the center position as well. Again, Landis, to me, he's a better center than a lock, so I'm sure he'll be giving some tips and tricks to Lil Don Juan here at the center position. And again, not mad at it, right? Look at their strategy. Got the point guard, got the lock, and you got the center. I'm a fan of this way of doing it.
He is off the board. Going to the Coquees. They are going to take their GM here, Legit BK, who is actually in the chat with us today. Shout out to you, Legit, on selecting yourself. A bit conceited, if you ask me, but good for you. I'm messing. They can do it, take wherever they want. Let's go to the heist. They're going to take another point guard here. I guess another guard. They are going to draft Malibu from NV, which I'm guessing is Malibu from Nevada. So he must have lived in Nevada. Now he lives in Malibu, the point guard. He's going to the heist.
Yeah, see, you would think he's from Nevada, but you've got someone like Joe Vegas, whose name is not Joe, nor has he ever been to Vegas. So they're fraudsters everywhere in this community. But again, took the point guard. They've got 2 now. You had Gliz at the 1st round. Now you've got Malibu with the 3rd round as well. Interesting to see who's going to play the 1, who's going to play the 2. And it looks like all GMs, if they were going to go ahead and play, they had to be dropping and, their 3rd round pick. So it looks like that's what's happening here.
Sounds like a plan. I'm being told from him in the chat that it's actually Esva raised. The I looked like an L to me, so...
it's one of those where you can't get the letter you want.
Someone's going to catch these hands. I don't like that. Let's go through our 3rd round here. Wanya, Professor Unk, I Protect Rims. Couple GM picks of Mason, Childish Gambino, and Coach Nate. Then you had Fat On going to the Toros. A couple more GM picks with Hami and Swan. Esva Rays, Lil Don Juan. One more GM pick with Legit BK. And then finally, Malibu from Nevada. Let's go to the 4th round now. Heist still on the clock. They are taking a man with a very long name. ODM Exploit God. The power forward off the board.
Yeah, speaking of exploiting, it looks like we just exploited the fact that Joe's name is not Joe. By the way, everyone should just go on Twitter, tag Joe, and be like, I can't believe your name is not Joe. This is why I have trust issues, kind of like raising cookies on chocolate chips. But no, I mean, this is great. I like this pick, right? You go ahead and grab the 4 in your 4th round. But what's interesting here is that Heist already picked up a power forward in the 2nd round, aka through a retainment. So let's see if one of them ends up playing the center position or if they draft one later on.
Go to the Coquees now. They just took their GM last time. And finally, India, they are going to take their center. Goat Me. Averaged 12 and 12 during the combine.
The only way you get goated is if you play like you're goated, and if you're going to go ahead and get double doubles consistently with top centers in this league, then you'll go ahead and do it. Now you go ahead and get those type of stats against dimes or someone that knows how to play the center position, then you'll do great. By the way, shout out to Luke Baker, who actually went ahead and tagged Joe on Twitter.
Yeah, we need as many people as possible to tag Joe. Or sorry, Chris. Let's go to the Walkers. They're back on the clock. They need another guard, and they are taking a much easier name to pronounce. He's just called Safari.
Taking the 2 guard here in the 4th round, you've got to have a lot of trust with your defense. Obviously, Seldom's a great point guard, but then you went defense, right? You went and took lock and center with rounds 2 and 3. Safari might be the gem with about 17 points in the combine that they feel like they can still go and get the offensive output that you need. But it looks like defense is what Walkers are going to rely on.
Well, the Walkers selecting a guard here in the 4th. Let's go to the Talons. They're back on the clock, and they are going to be taking Marquise QP, a shooting guard. Another guard.
If this is a Marquise that I believe I played with and played against, he's one of those underrated type of individuals who I would not be surprised if he gets a combine eligible spot. He's someone who can go ahead and put the work in, doesn't really quote unquote tweak if things go bad. And Dimes, yes, you did get drafted, believe it or not. Not sure why, but you did. I'm joking, of course.
Yeah, Dimes the center. You got picked 1st round to the Nightmare. Let's go. What pick are we on? I lost my spot. Oh, we're on the Snake Eyes. All right, we just picked Marquise. Going to the Snake Eyes, they're going to take a point guard here. And they are taking LaShawn, finally getting a point guard.
Finally getting a point guard in the 4th round. I mean, who is LaShawn that we do not know of, and why is he going in the 4th round if he's putting up 35 points per game and having 6 dimes? Let's see if he ends up living up to the offensive threat that his build says he is.
LaShawn going to the 4th. Yeah, if you're averaging 35, you must be pretty good. By the way, shout out to It's Work saying I'm too busy to play and select. I'm very sorry to hear that. You will be missed. Hopefully in the future, your schedule clears up and you can play some 2K with us. Trying to keep it nice, Trying to keep it nice. Let's go to the Marauders. Bank up 9. He's going to be their point guard this year. Another guard off the board.
This, again, goes back to the same thing as LaShawn. Who is Bank Up 9, and why is he or she going in the 4th round with stats like that? So, playmaking shot creator. The other one was an offensive threat. Let's see how they end up playing. By the way, mind blown. Apparently, people don't know that Black White Frank, his real name is not Frank Harris. I feel like we're just dropping breaking news today. Yeah,
you were just on BFW Live on Monday.
I'm reading my Twitter mentions while talking. My apologies, but yes, Black Frank White's name is not actually Frank. Breaking news.
Let's go to the Toros. They're taking a power forward here. They're selecting Forever NY. The man loves New York. Now he's going to be going to San Antonio.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if he's able to adjust from that big city life to a San Antonio lifestyle. Might demand a trade. But again, power forward at the 4th round, I like it. I'm a fan of this one. Boxing out, has the boards that you would want, so I'm sure a center would be appreciative of a man with his talents.
Let's keep moving along here. Going to the Nightmare, getting to play with Dimes and Coach Nate. They are also taking a power forward. Little run-on power forwards here. Tavion, he's off the board.
You've got Tavion being paired up with Dimes at the center position. So you best believe, Tavion, you need to have your swing game on point, or else Dimes is going to be in your ear. The man's clouded. He might just destroy your reputation.
Well, Tavion gets picked. He's going to the Nightmare. Let's go to the Cleveland Crocs. They're taking a big man. Finally, after 3 straight backcourt guys, they take a guy named Shampoo. I hope he cleans the glass as well as he cleans his hair.
I feel like Shampoo went ahead and loaded up the game, right? And he was like, what
awful shampoo pun are you gonna have? I just made a bad
I was
one.
just gonna say, like, what type of gamer tag should I have? And for some reason, he just saw like Dove shampoo and he said, that's what I'm gonna go with. I hope your game is better than your name. But again, getting a center in the 4th round, someone truly believes in him. Childish Cambino does. And it'll be interesting how he plays at the center spot.
Hey, you rhymed that one. That was pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Let's go to the Cartel. They got a lot coming off the board here. OTG Twisted Ref. I don't know who this man is. Though congrats on getting drafted to the cartel. You got to play with Joker and Tane. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, Tane's going to be the offensive individuals there. You've got Joker in the second round. They went ahead and decided to wait on the 2 guard. So Tane has got to pick it up whenever it comes to the offensive end because he's not going to get, quote unquote, a great shooting guard unless, of course, there's a gem hidden somewhere in the later rounds.
Let's jump over to the Triceratops. I saw him in the chat earlier asking if he got drafted, and the answer is now yes. Mr. Busy 2K, you have been selected to go play for the Triceratops. Congrats, Mr. Busy. You'll be playing power forward.
I like it. Not a bad pick. This is where power forward should go. In the 4th round, you've already locked up your center. Now, who's going to end up playing lock? That's the big question here. We don't know yet. So you've got the center and you've got the power forward. Who's going to play the lock?
Busy coming off the board here. Let's go to the Roadrunners. They are finally going to take a point guard. Nice little alliteration here. It is Money Making Maddie. Averaged 30 and 8 in the combine.
Someone's got a lot of faith in Money here being drafted in the 4th round to play point guard, and you've got great stats there. Now, it also depends on, did those stats come up against great locks, or did they come up against locks they just needed to get their games in towards the end of it? But definitely a nice pickup here, and you have Dayfry being your 2 guard, someone who can go out and educate you about the game. So I think it should be a great team that they have, all dependent on how he performs, of course, at the point guard position and the mentorship from Dayfry.
Well, Money Making Maddie gets picked. Let's move on here. Oh, by the way, shout out to Dayfry hanging out in the chat, checking out who he's going to get to play with. Let's go to the Bad Apples. They have swing picks here in the 4th and 5th round. They are going to take a center. They are drafting BGE Big Boat, the Big Boat Man, 2-way stretch 4.
Decided to take the power forward in the 3rd round and their center in the 4th round. So let's see what they believe in him. Not too familiar with his game, but 2-way stretch 4 wouldn't be surprising if he goes ahead and plays the 4 instead of the center position.
Well, it should be fun. That ends the 4th round. Let me go back through the picks here so everybody can stay on track. ODM Exploit God coming off the board first in the 4th round to the heist. Then after that, Goat Me, excuse me, Safari, Marquise QP, LaShawn, Bank Up 9, Forever NY, Tavion, Shampoo, OTG, Twisted Ref, Busy 2K, Money Making Maddie, and BGE Big Boat. That is your 4th round. And with that being said, let's go into the 5th round. And we are still here with the Bad Apples from Brooklyn. And they have taken a threat at shooting guard, a man whose name I also know.
You're familiar with his game, and of course you've got Splash at the point guard position, right? So if you have Splash as your point guard, you can rest easy that you just need to make sure you green your shots, because Splash is going to find you wide open, and you just got to make sure you green. If you don't, you're going to be on Twitter, my man.
He certainly will. Let's go to the Roadrunners here. They are taking a power forward. They are going to take a man by the name of Straps.
You've got Straps here playing the power forward position, but you already took Professor UNC in the 3rd round to be your power forward. So it'll be interesting to see who ends up starting, who doesn't, and who actually ends up playing what position, right? You still want to have someone play the 3. So will it be Straps? Will it be Professor UNC? We'll find out the answers when the first game tips off.
We will find out indeed. Let's move on to the Triceratops. Another man who has dropped into my chat a couple times, Mr. JDubs2K, the power forward. He's off the board here to the Triceratops.
Yeah, you know, of course, with a lot of these power forward builds, of course, making a small forward is not the best thing you can do for your team, just based on builds and things like that. But same thing here. Who's going to actually play, quote unquote, the lock position between Busy or JDubs? Let's see.
We will certainly find out. It should be fun. Let's jump over to the El Paso Cartel. They are drafting H. Sabdol. Not sure. Power forward, off the board, going to the cartel.
I'm going to just assume that his name is Abdul, and it's more so like, it's Abdul. I don't know. But regardless, playing
You're probably
right. Playing power forward here. By the way, folks in the chat, Ev's name is not Ev, it's Philip. Just FYI.
That's nice. Let's move on to the next pick. We're going to the Crocs. A man who has started to become more of an analyst than a player, but good to see him still playing a little bit of 2K. It is none other than Be More Paz. Power forward, he's coming off the board. What?
I can't see your face, but I can only imagine the face that you make. You know, that horrendous face is exactly what you made when I said Ev's name is Phillips. But Be More. Be More, someone who I've played the 4. He wanted to go ahead and get draft eligible last year. I'm sure he's going to be trying to become combine eligible this year. So best of luck to him in improving his stock as he plays in WR Select.
Continue moving on here, saying y'all the ops ratting on everyone. That's what we do, man. All right, we're out here keeping everybody honest. Let's go to the Nightmare. They're on the clock here. They're taking a man named Hoop for 3 YT, which I'm guessing is YouTube. If the man is a content creator, he might need to find some new glasses, because oh my god, those are huge.
Why you got to make fun of the man's glasses?
Look how big they are. They take up his whole head.
You've got Dimes at the center position. You've got Egen playing playing the point guard. Now you've gone and finally secured your other offensive piece in the 2 guard in Hoop for 3 YouTube. Look forward to seeing a lot of content if he actually does load up and put his pro-ams and all that stuff on YouTube.
Congrats to Be More Paz in the chat on getting picked. Let's go to the Toros. I think they're playing a little favoritism here. I don't know how good or bad this guy is at 2K, but it is actually the commissioner of WR Select that is being drafted here. It is Perry. So you know the Toros are definitely going to follow all the rules. India going to follow it by the book.
If the game starts at 9, this team better show up ready to go. Boost added, everything done at 8:50. I cannot wait for this team to get a forfeit against them. And if they do, it's no one else's fault besides Perry. By the way, he definitely went ahead and edited these stats because there's no way the man put up 15 points per game at the 2 guard.
The man does not have a lot of fans in the chat. He is getting hit with boos.
He's getting the Roger Goodell treatment, baby.
He's definitely getting the Goodell treatment. Better him than me, so I'll live. Let's move on here. Let's go to the Marauders. They're taking a man at center named Fresh. This probably isn't T Freshy. I kind of wish it was T Freshy, but it's not. And he got Mr. Fresh gets picked here.
I don't yet. The only reason I feel like it might be is because he plays a center position as well. But again, and also because he's good friends with Hami, or at least I assume they are based on Twitter interaction. So this is one of those gem picks where he hasn't really played in a while, but the man can play center. And maybe if it's not him, hey, look forward to building your own name and your own brand, Mr. Fresh.
We're cracking up everybody in the chat tonight, but it's good news because we're cracking up ourselves.
Are they laughing at us or with us, though? I don't know.
I'll take both. I'll take both.
Let's take laughing at us for 1,000, please.
Let's go to the Snake Eyes. They have taken a center, taking a man named Humble Primetime, which is kind of like an oxymoron, but I like it. Almost average double-double. He's going to play center next to Guapo. Nice little backcourt.
You found the last piece of your starting 5 here in round 5, taking a center. I feel like it's a dangerous thing you can do. The stats, I'll be honest, they're not that impressive, but maybe when we watch him play and watch the film, we'll see just how much of an impact player Humble Primetime is when the spotlight is on him.
Very dramatic of you. Let's go to the Tulsa Talons.
We're in the 5th round, baby.
Yeah, gotta keep it up. Going to the Talons here. They're taking Lethal Weapon. Great name. Hopefully he's as good as his name. He's off the board here, going to the Talons.
I feel like this is going to be one of those underrated teams where they don't have a lot of big names on this one, right? Obviously, you went ahead and took a 4 at the 5th round, and you got Marquise there playing shooting guard and Dev playing point guard, who I don't believe is Dev Goss, like we talked about. Could be an underrated team. Will they make some noise? Left to be seen.
How is it not Dev Goss? Can there be 2 devs? Probably. We have like 50 ices. Let's go to the Walkers. They are taking a power forward here, Mr. Quando. I don't know who this is, but I like his name. Certainly going to be fun to say when if they make the WR finals, or excuse me, the WR Select finals, and I have to say his name. Quando. I like it. Off the clock.
Yeah, you're going to have Quando there, and you've got your lock and Landis. You've got Seldom playing the guard. This team, to me, and again, this is obviously just for fun, entertainment purposes, this is like a bubble playoff type team, right? Like, are they going to make it or are they not? Strictly based off of names and how we've seen them play. But let's see how things actually get played out, because you get paid based on how you perform on the court. But this is definitely a team I'm going to have my eyes on.
By the way, apologies to the man Dev in the chat. He's saying he's not Dev Goss. Congrats on not being somebody who you're not, and I hope that who you are fulfills you on the inside. Let's go to the Coquees here.
I got dramatic and you got deep. Okay.
You know, trying to give out light lessons here on the WR Select Draft on the PS5 side. I don't give out these tips on the Xbox side, only on PlayStation. They're gonna take the power forward 0-6, versatile paint piece. He'll play next to Goat Me.
Yeah, thankfully you don't need SIGS as a power forward, at least not that I know. I haven't made a my player myself here. But you've got Legit, who's a GM, so I'm sure, you know, he knows what he's doing. Now, again, who's going to play the lock mainly, right? Is it going to be 0-6? Is it going to be Legit, who's actually going to play the 4 out of the corner? And who's going to guard ball between 0-6 and Legit? Left to be seen, but you've got him playing the paint piece position there. Looks like possibly see him on the center, no question.
0-6 off the clock here. By the way, shout out to Quayle757 in the chat, who definitely has the best comment of the night so far, saying some people get picked up because they have cool names. I'm not going to lie. That's probably how I would draft, because that is how I drafted all of my Madden GM teams back in the day. So
look, I'm not going to lie. When it comes to round 7 or 8, if you got a real cool name, or by the way, I'm going to take a quick second here. Shout out to the individual that went ahead and made that video and put it out on Twitter. If someone like that is available, I'm picking you up and I'm giving you a shot. So shout out to him, and I ain't mad at it. Round 6, 7, 8. I'll take a stab at you.
You know, and not to mention, like, there's a guy in the NBA, or he used to be in the NBA. His name was Sindarius Thornwell. That's definitely the guy I would have drafted. What a great athlete.
Or Taco Falls. Thornwell. I'm drafting you.
Taco Fall. I like that too.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the last pick of the round, of round 5. It's gonna be another center. It is a guy who I am guessing might be from Toronto. His name is Maple6. Maybe he really likes maple trees, or he's from Canada. I'm not sure, but maple fits. Coming off the board.
The way his face looks, he definitely had a lot of maple syrup, and now he has like food coma. So wouldn't be surprised if he is Canadian. But double.
Who eats that much maple syrup? Ew.
Canadians, I don't know. They drink it like it's water. But you know, you've got yourself a little bit of a gem. Strictly basing it off of the stats, a double here in the 5th round to be your center. Maybe Gliz and company know what they're doing here, grabbing him in the 5th round.
Maybe so, maybe so. That's going to do it for round 5. Let's go through it before we get to round 6. We had, a threat coming off the board in the first pick. Then Straps, Jay does, is Abdul, Be More Paz, Hoops43 YouTube, who needs to do glasses. Perry the Commish coming off the board, going to the Toros. Then you had Fresh, Humble Prime, Lethal Weapon, Quando, 0-6, and Maple 6. And that brings us to round 6, where the Heists are still on the clock, and they are taking Twin J614.
By the way, Maple 6 is in the chat, says definitely no Toronto. I'm going to assume that confirms that the man is from Toronto. Apologies for Toronto Maple Leafs. Similar to producer Jeff there. But you've got another 2-guard here. You already have a threat that you picked up in the 5th round, and now you went and picked up another one. Is Splash a little unconfident with threats, capabilities? Not sure, but let's see how it works out.
Let's move forward here. Going to the Coquees again. They're taking power forward, Jay Hawksmooth.
And clearly I was looking at the wrong side of the chat there, so ignore what I said the last time. I like this pick. In the later rounds, you went ahead and get yourself a 4 and maybe like a guard or anything like that, just in case things go wrong. I'm not mad at it.
Let's continue on here. Moving on to the Walkers again. They are taking Sins 24. I think.
There you go. Do
24. 24. Got it. Nailed it. 10, 10, 1, 5, 4. Got it.
There you go. You got to subtract sometimes a little bit with those Roman numbers there.
Little Roman numeral math. Yeah. Sin 24 coming off the board here.
got the 2-guard to play back up a little bit to Safari, who they picked up in the 4th round. Great stats here. Got 26 points, 5 dimes, right? Not bad. Great backup point guard, 2-guard, if you ask me.
Let's keep going here. Another center coming off the board. The Talon. They are selecting Killer Kobe 8.
Name is Killer Kobe, but you play the center position. I respect it.
Yeah, we talked about this, man.
I ain't mad at it.
Sad.
But you know, yeah. I mean, look, you've got a man who plays who gets you double doubles here late in the 6th round. So definitely someone that can probably play back up to Issa Raised, who spells it with an L and not an I. That kind of tripped us up.
Well, congrats to our guy in the chat, Mr. Sins514. He says, "Hey, I got drafted." Congrats to you, my friend. Let's go on to the Snake Eyes here. They're taking another guy who I've seen in my chat in the NBA 2K League chat before on Twitch. It is Chris from DC.
Where do you think he's from?
Matrix in his bag.
The District of Columbia in Canada.
All right, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Great one. I like it. I just wanted to put you on the spot there. Nice little pickup here. You can see teams kind of getting backup players that they believe might need to step up, whether it's for scheduling purposes or if their 2-guard doesn't work out, which God bless Snake Eyes if it doesn't, because you spent your 1st-round pick on Bringleman.
Let's continue on here. Going to the Marauders. They are taking a shooting guard here. They are taking Story of Wags. I like the name. I hope he has a dog.
This individual is going to take over the starting position over Shaker. Book it.
Book it. I like that. I like that.
Only because Shaker's in the chat and we're having a good time.
I'm not having a good time. I just think he's trash. Take that, Shaker. No, I'm kidding. Let's move on here to the Toros. I'm going to try really hard here. I believe this is Ayo Drew TTV. So that's the Twitch TV guy, the Twitch TV tag. So hopefully his streaming career takes off as a member of the Toros. That is Ayo Drew.
He's going to be playing behind Forever New York. It'll be interesting to see how the rotations work out and what coach decides to make sure the playing time is spread apart. But at the end of the day, the best 5 step on the court. Hey, he's in the chat. Shout out to you, pal.
Hey, he's hype. Congrats to you, Mr. Ayo Drew. Excuse me. Let's go on here to the Nightmare. Rescue. That was my last guess. I have no idea. But he got picked anyway. Good for him.
This is why I was happy to know that you would be going to hosting and I could just do the silly comments. So God bless you and we might need Hooked on Phonics just to recorrect ourselves here.
I know, man. Help me.
But you finally picked up a 2-guard here. Now, you went ahead and picked up Hoops for 3 earlier, right? So you're getting your 2-guards a little bit late in the game. Tells me they're going to try to be a little bit more defensive when they step on the court.
Well, let's keep scooting along here. Let's go to the Crocs. Oh, God. Tay from
the Mill.
Famit?
Yeah, to me, this reads,
oh.
this reads "Tay from the Mill" for me. You know, the "ta" is kind of like ghetto. You know.
Yeah, I got you.
Playing the lock position.
You know so much about that.
Behind. Oh, absolutely. You should see the way I wrote my emails and instant messages when I was like, 2007 ages. But anyway, playing behind Big Face here at the sharp lock, as he'll be playing the lock position as well. Let's see what type of playing time he gets.
He's off the clock here. Let's keep going. The Cartel have selected this a way easier name. Thank you to this guy for making it easy on me. Bruce Wayne. That was easy.
Look at these stats. The man has 28 points, 7 dimes, and 4 steals. I wonder if he averaged those 4 steals before the patch came out or when steals were OP. But a great pickup simply looking at these stats here in the later rounds.
By the way, he's in the chat. The man's name is apparently Rescue.
There you go. That's what I said. Yeah, Rescue
sometimes my brain works and sometimes it is a potato. Let's go to the Triceratops. They have taken a center here. Another easy name for me. G Harden 1. That is who has been selected.
Playing the center, you get playing behind Protect Rims. Not mad at it, right? Look at those stats. Again, looks like folks and GMs have kind of spent their time either looking at the film or they're just picking simply based off of stats because the man's got a double-double with a high teens and 18 points per game. Definitely a nice pickup here simply based off of that. Two-way scoring machine at the center position.
Let's continue moving on here. Going on to the Indianapolis Roadrunners. They are taking a point guard named Roxy.
You've got to pick up another guard here. Now, I'm not mad at this one, especially because you picked up your first guard in the 4th round, which means you didn't get like your green lights in your splash. So you need a little bit of a backup in case things don't work out with money, and that's what they've got with Roxy. Now, how did he perform in the combine? TBD.
You know, it's funny. People in the chat are saying the GOAT, my boy, G Harden, whatever. I wonder if it's G Harden or if it's Garden. I'm not sure. Oh, well.
Like the H is silent?
It might be. Or it's like Harden. I don't know. Let's move on to the last pick of the 6th round.
Life decisions
We're moving on to the last pick of the 6th round.
The chat's letting you hear it, by the
way. Let's go to the Bad Apples. They're taking B Fleet. I know this guy. This thing, I can definitely read, man. All right, come on. We've read so many gamer tags tonight.
I believe you. And I've already said you do better than I would have ever tried. But a nice little pickup here. Stats aren't as compelling as you would like for a 2-guard. But again, when you've got Splash leading the way at the point guard position, you don't really need much output from your 2-guard. It's nice to have it, but you don't need it.
Well, B Fleet gets selected. Let's go back through the 6th round before we go on to round 7. You got Twin J 614, Jayhawk Smooth, Sins 24, Killer Kobe 8, Chris from DC, Story Wags or Story of Wags, AO Drew, Rescue, Tay from the Mill, Bruce Wayne, G Harden 1, Roxy, and B Fleet.
I thought it was Garden.
Garden. It's gonna leave that one in the past. Let's go to the 7th round here. Center coming off the board, Queen of the 6. Interesting.
Might be a cousin of 630. No, what do you think?
I don't like that one. That one.
I tried. It's in the later rounds here, but a nice little center pickup. Not sure how much playing time they're going to see behind Big Boat, who already got drafted in the 4th round, but definitely someone nice in case you have some scheduling difficulties, because you know Perry is going to be all over that, right, Perry?
Perry. Keep an eye out. Keep an in on him. Let's go to the Roadrunners. Tell 'em Lou coming off the board at center. We've seen the man in the chat. Congrats, my friend. You have been drafted.
Yeah, congratulations to you. Definitely as a center, you'd want to see a little bit more rebounds there, right? 6 rebounds, not the best way, but of course, unless you're playing out of the corner, then that's something a little bit different. It'll be interesting how much playing time they get. Again, same situation. You got Giants fan that got drafted in the 2nd round. Decent little backup here in the 7th.
Let's continue on here. Let's go towards the Triceratops. Trying to find my spot again. Bo Off the Hen. He got drafted last night on the Xbox side of things, and he gets picked here again.
Interesting. You don't often see small forward builds here in 2K22, but this man's got one. 2-way mid-range scorer. Wonder what their 3-point capabilities are like, but you know, decent output here. Not sure how much playing time they're going to get, especially when you've got the lock that already got drafted early on.
All
Coach
right,
Juice sees something in him though.
Coach Juice definitely does. Let's keep moving. Cartel are on the clock. They are taking Tristan21653, a username straight out of 2006. He is on the clock. What was your first gamer tag, India?
You know, it was actually my name, which is why I had to change it because, you know, the community is interesting.
My first gamer tag on the Xbox 360 was Jackhammer5297.
Now, if you want, you can ask me in DMs what my first AIM screen name was, because I can't say that the lovely WR Select platform. But that's another icebreaker that you and I can have.
Forever NY in the chat is saying his whole zip code. Well played. Let's go to the Crocs. I know this guy, another member of the Sports Team Twitch chat. It is Soul Cold 23 playing a little power forward. Congrats to him.
I had to go back and check Tristan's name just to see if it was the last 5 of his social. I hope it's not. And if it is, my apologies for just saying that to 200 people in the chat. Nice little pickup here. Soul Cold 23 playing power forward, 2-way post scorer. Let's see what impact he can have on the court.
Let's keep on going here from Soul Cold. Let's go to the Nightmare.
I'm sorry. Shaker, a zip code, has 5 digits, my man, and he has 5 digits. Come on. Anyway, continue.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's go to the Nightmare. They already have Dat Boy Dimes, and now they take Zay Dimes, his younger cousin. It's not actually his cousin, but maybe in theory.
Zay and Dimes teamed up in Dallas, and look at that. Someone loved him so much that they went ahead and made a screen name out of it. Of course, Zay spelled a little bit differently. But a nice little pickup here playing the, point guard position. Of course, maybe it is the cousin because it is Dimes who plays for this team as well.
Dimes off the board. Let's keep going here to the Toros. A point guard with a very fitting name. His name is Gifted Handles. Averaged 30 and 11.
I'm surprised he doesn't play the center position. That's what I expect with names like this. Gifted Handles that plays like the 4, But you get a point guard in the 7th round. Let's see what you can get in terms of playing time because you've already got Relly as your number 1 guy.
Let's continue on here to the Marauders. Already have to deal with Shake and his annoying ass. So now they have to deal. I'm kidding. I don't know who this guy is. Flashy. Going to be center for the Marauders.
Boy, it took you 3 times to say that. You want to make sure one more time real quick?
I just want to make sure that's because, look, there's an IE at the end.
What are you going to say? Flash eye?
It's definitely flashy, but there's too many letters behind there that all mean the same thing. The Y, the I, and the E all are just, yeah, you got it. Flashy.
Anyway, playing the center position here. Rebounds, again, not the best stat for a center, but maybe they go ahead and play the 4 off the corner, and that's why their rebounds are a little bit low.
Let's continue on here for Snake Eyes. They are taking a guy named Big Baby Zay, power forward.
Big Baby Zay playing the power forward. You can't have a screen name that says big and then baby. It just doesn't make sense for me. Clearly, someone decides to give him a shot, though. Here getting drafted as a power forward late in the 7th round.
Let's keep moving on here. Shaker says he couldn't get a PSN with just one of the letters, so he used all of them, Harris. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry if I offended. Let's go to the Talons. DJ TTV, a point guard. He's off the board.
Shaker makes a good point. Yes, I know who Big Baby Glenn Davis is, but come on. Have you seen the guy?
Yeah, didn't he just get charged with extorting the NBA? No, with fraud during the NBA.
It was fraud with the insurance stuff. Yeah. So hopefully Big Baby Zay doesn't try to scam Phillip, or else it's going to be trouble for them.
Shout out to Zay2361 in the chat, who I am guessing is Big Baby Zay. So congrats to him, good sir.
Congratulations.
Let's move on to the Walkers. They are taking Watch Coos, a point guard.
Can you imagine if Ev's name was actually Phillip? Can you imagine someone being like, "Hey man, you have to take a 4 for you. You got to talk to Phillip."
Shout out to anybody out there named Phillip. India hates you.
I'm just imagining you needing to tell someone, hey, you got to pay a $250 fine because you didn't bring jerseys. Said who? Said Phillip. But anyway, I'm moving on here. Nice little pickup here at the point guard position. 27 points, something you would expect from maybe a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round point guard, but you get a steal here in the later rounds.
Shaker says, I have a feeling Harris isn't your name. Contrary to most people in this community, like Dirk and India and Joe Vegas, whose names aren't actually their names, Harris Rubenstein is my actual real name. I know, what a concept. Let's go to the Coquees here. They have taken a very easy name for me this time. Ready? I got this one, India.
Nailed it.
Dak.
I love these L's that they have in front and afterwards,
Nailed it.
right? Obviously, they're doing it because they can't get what they want. But another nice pickup here, simply based off the combine stats. Let's see if they're able to get on the court and make an impact, because you've already got Flex and Ty, who was drafted in the second round. And that's the thing. When you get drafted in these later rounds, obviously you're getting drafted because of scheduling purposes, if someone's not available. So you really got to make sure you maximize and optimize the opportunities that you get.
Dak getting drafted to the Coquees. Unified Coach Jay in the chat saying, I'm sorry, my real name is not Coach. And yes, Dex, you caught me. My name is Rarish Hubenstein. I like that one. I might go by that from now on. Story of Wags says, you're wrong, Coach. Your name is Coach Jay. I don't even know if you have a first name. Let's go to the heist. They make the last pick here in round 7. They are taking Stain on Perks.
Could have said something different after Stain on, and things could have been very bad, but I'm glad they didn't do that. Getting picked here in the later rounds, decent stats here, 2-way finisher. It'll be interesting because you've already got Exploit God, who got picked up at the power forward earlier, and they retained someone else to play lock too. So let's see if they're able to get themselves some playing time.
Let's move on. Oh, sorry, that's the end of the round. So let's go through the round, and then we'll get into our final round of the night, round 8. Round 7 started with Queen of the Six. Then it went Tell 'em Lou, Bow Off the Hen, Tristan 21653. Nice little zip code there. Soul Code 23. Zay Dimes after that. Then Gifted Handles, Flashy, Big Baby Zay, DJ TTV, Watch Coos, Dak, and then finally it is Stain on Perks. Let's go to our final round. And we start with Dat Boy 241.
Final pick for them, and that's who they go with. Dat Boy again. Let's see how much playing time they get, man. You're playing a perimeter lockdown, so you're expected to kind of be a two-way individual. Obviously, you've gone ahead and get your team about 11 points, but that steal number's got to get bumped up a little bit, especially if you're going to play the game of NBA 2K22. Got to average maybe about 2 or 3 to get yourself on the court.
Well, let's continue. Bo, we have a man. Bo Off the Hen is in the chat. Mr. Bo, you got drafted to the Triceratops. Congrats.
Oh, man. I thought you were going to get yourself in trouble there.
Nope. No, I'm not. Nope.
Good. You can mess up as many names as you want as long as you don't do that.
Onwards to the next pick. OTG Lars Full Clip going to the Coquees.
This has been way too much fun than I thought. I'm having a great time here, so I'm not sure if the chat is, but it's been a blast so far. And here's another individual. Gets drafted at the power forward position. I mean, at 1 rebound, you've got to go ahead and make much more of an impact there if you're going to be an impactful 4.
That's about how your 2K stats look like, so I don't know how you're hating. Let's go on to the walkers here. Another one of our money makers. This time it's Money Making June.
Money Making June. I'm not familiar with their game. Clearly, you've got, Seldom, Landis, and company who believe in them, playing the backup position to the lock. Again, can you green your shots? That's what Seldom's going to want as the Green Ranger.
Let's keep moving on here. Let's go to the Talons. They have taken Lidge to Gifted? Question mark?
Yeah, maybe it's
J?
like I'm too gifted. That's what they tried to say, like I too gifted. I don't know.
I see. I too gifted. I could see that. Yeah. Do the player card for him. Let's see. We'll see how it's spelled. Yeah, we'll go with that. I do gifted.
Yeah, I too gifted. Again, not great grammar there anyway. And the stats are kind of interesting there. But again, someone sees something in him to kind of take a shot at him. And maybe that's why they picked him, because they liked I too gifted. Wish you the best of luck.
All right. Let's keep going.
We might need, you know what, Shaker, next time we do this, we're going to have Shaker come on with us. And he can go ahead and pronounce these type of names.
Probably do as good of a job as me. Let's go to the Snake Eyes. This is a much easier one. I got this. Ready? Mr. Walker 6. It's an easy one. He's off the board going to the Snake Eyes.
Nice little pickup here at the center position, playing back up to Humble Prime Time. who was drafted, I believe, in the 4th or 5th round there. Not the most impressive stats. Rebounds are there, so maybe someone who can play the 4 a little bit better, but definitely not sure how much of an impact individual they will be on the court. But I'm always open to being surprised. So congratulations on getting drafted, and I look forward to watching you play.
Hey, the man's is in the chat. Congrats, Mr. Walker. Let's go to the Marauders. The final picks for the Pirate crew. They are taking Stewell, a point guard. My voice cracked. Stewell.
Taking the point guard here to kind of back up, maybe walk back green a little bit. You've got Bank up here as well. Impressive stats there. The best thing for me is watching an individual who can go and find the open man. I wish we got a chance to see what their turnovers were like, to kind of see what their assist to turnover ratio is, but hope to see them get a little bit of playing time and make an impact.
Let's continue on here. Let's go to the Toros. Quayle 757, the center.
Nice little pickup here, playing back up to Bag. If Bag gets in his bag, you're not seeing any playing time. But decent stats there playing for the Toros. Maybe he's an individual who plays really well, and the GM has now got to decide to trade him and get some valuable assets coming back, because that's something that a lot of GMs will do, right? Get those gems because you expect other positions to kind of digress, and then you can go ahead and get trade value out of it for this season and the next season as well.
Let's keep on moving here. Let's jump to our next pick, and the last pick for the Nightmare. They are taking Wavy 999.
Yeah, Nightmare goes in and picks up Wavy 999. Thankfully, they already have their kind of point guard situation set. Not really sure what to expect out of Wavy, be honest. But congratulations, you did something I never could do, and that was get drafted in WR Select.
Did you go for WR Select and not get picked?
I went for WR Select and didn't get picked. And when
Wow.
I was unknown, I went a meme out. I put a meme out that said, wants to get drafted in the 2K League, but can't even get drafted in WR Select. I got
I like
0
that.
likes on it.
Oh.
So if anyone doesn't get drafted, feel free to steal that.
I gotta move on. Let's go to our next pick here, the Crocs. H Sims Live or Him Live, and the S's are fake. H Sims Live. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, you know, now I'm just a little bit hurt about how I didn't get drafted. But that's okay. That's all right. Here I am. Nice little pickup here for the team here. Floor spacing slashers. I'm still sad, so I'm going to keep quiet.
Well, I don't even know how to respond to that. Let's go. Wait, actually, those are all the picks that we currently
I thought
have.
someone would take a chance at me, man.
No.
That's all right.
You ended up okay. Let's go to the Cartel. They have just made their pick, and it is worldwide nav power forward.
Picking up a power forward here is interesting. Typically, I'd expect teams to go ahead and pick up like a point guard or a shooting guard, especially because you only have 3 guards on the team, right? So you may want an extra one to kind of play another position. But of course, you see a lot of teams loading up with a bunch of power forwards. So why would you want that? Interesting pick here.
An interesting pick indeed. Let's go on to the Triceratops. Only 3 picks left in the draft, so if you haven't gotten picked yet, you better start crossing your fingers. Going to the Triceratops. They are taking Camuel to hype. No?
Yeah, you just got,
Did they
you know,
pick
while
him?
we figure out what Perry's doing here with her Google Docs to see who goes where. First off, shout out, you got drafted somewhere. But can we just all pay attention to Hami in the chat, who is a general manager, but is asking Shaker, was our last pick a lock? Mr. GM, how do you not know who your last pick was and what position they played? Come on, Hami.
L. That's just an L.
Hami believes in Shaker.
We have our pick. All right, the Triceratops. They have taken Legendary 23, a shooting guard out of Alaska.
It looks like there were some trade discussions between the Triceratops and the Roadrunners. Ultimately decided to go ahead and stick with their pick and take up Legendary here. A big fan of it, right? You want to go ahead and get yourself a shooting guard, but the combine stats just don't live up to that. It'll be interesting to see how they actually play on the court.
And of course, man, you know, when your name is Legendary, you have to get drafted. Let's go to the second to last pick of the night. It is the shooting guard who I previously mentioned. It was put in the wrong square. I feel betrayed. It is Camuel 2 Hype.
I like the fact that they have 2 Hype in there. I believe they have aspirations to be a part of the organization. Wish you the best of luck, along with congratulations on getting drafted to the Roadrunners. I like this one, Harris.
Zayway Baby says, there's no way I didn't get picked up. Unfortunate because a guy named Big Baby Zay got picked. The problem is, Zay, is that you're not big. You're just
Yeah, there's
Zay
only
Baby.
only so many babies you can have in WR Select.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Tough part of life. Let's go to the Bad Apples. The last pick of the draft. Always Reaching. A great name for a lock. Outstanding name for a lock.
Is what I'm talking about. Remember we talked about it,
Wow.
Harris. If we see someone with a gamer tag that is special and it has a story behind it, I am drafting you. Congratulations to Always Reaching. Mr. Irrelevant, the perfect name for a lock. Big fan. I'm a fan. I've got to let me know if you've got a Twitch. I got to watch your games. A1, sir. A1 marketing. Content on point.
If you didn't get picked, you still have a chance to get picked up as a free agent. So definitely keep those Twitter DMs.
You want to hear
open.
something sad?
Oh, God.
I didn't get picked up as a free agent either.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Well, hey, look, before we wrap it up, man, this was a lot of fun. Any surprises or any team you're kind of looking forward to watching play?
Center. Day Fry at Sharp Lock should always be fun. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Walkers with Landis and them, especially because I feel like I said, they'll be that playoff bubble team. What's more interesting to me is these teams that have Dimes, Dayfright, Greenlight, and Splash in them, because they're playing in WR Select, but they're also playing, at least some of them, different consoles, right? They're playing Xbox WR, they're playing PlayStation WR, UPA stuff. So if scheduling becomes an issue for these teams, you better have faith in your backup individuals to get the job done. Fun season ahead, man. I'm excited for it.
Well, that's going to do it for the WR Select Season 8 draft on the PS5. It was a fun night. Apologies to all the names that I botched, and shout out to all the players who got drafted. Good luck. If you are good enough, you will see Indy and I in the finals, so we will be casting your tournament. If not, I wish you the best season regardless. That's going to do it for Indy and I tonight. Thank you to Coach Jay in the booth. Thank you to the Dire WR Select team for making this all go so smoothly. Quando is saying a draft recap. That is a lot of names to go back over. Actually, I can calculate this out. That is,
I'm sure,
120 names to speak out, and I really don't want to butcher them all again. So all the rosters will be released publicly along with power rankings again. It will be a fun season for sure. Congrats